The future of the Star Wars franchise is said to be quite expansive, not just with The Rise of Skywalker marking the very end of the sequel trilogy and live-action TV series on Disney Plus and their future Star Wars films, but also a handful of other projects that Disney and Lucasfilm are currently working on as we speak. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, on top of all of this, we do know that the future of Star Wars is going to be quite lengthy. In fact, they do have a lot of projects currently in the early works, not just on Disney Plus, but also in the form of theatrical releases like movies and stuff around those lines. Now, everything related to The Rise of Skywalker, like I say, a lot of fans have been really expressing different reactions, delivering different reviews about the movie. A lot of people are taking the movie in different ways. And with that being said, the box office results on the opening weekend for that movie weren't nearly as great as The Last Jedi's, where it was actually quite lower than how The Last Jedi's pretty much earned back in 2017 in December. Now, on top of all of this, we do know that Disney and Lucasfilm are really trying to take Star Wars in a different direction. They are trying to reset Star Wars, and what that really means is they're trying to handle Star Wars as a franchise in a different way than ever before. Now, beyond all of this, what's rather intriguing about all of this has to do with the character of Anakin Skywalker. Now, it's said that both Disney and Lucasfilm are going through many changes to build the Star Wars franchise into something that would appeal more to hardcore Star Wars fans, both for the movies and for Disney Plus, that would bring in a series of new TV shows for the Star Wars community. Now, Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger are said to be the ones who came up with the idea of changing how the franchise should be handled, and that there are over 10 years worth of Star Wars live-action and animated projects currently in development in some way, shape, or form. It's said that one of the big plans by Lucasfilm is to bring a return of famous character Anakin Skywalker, and how this does not have to do with the Clone Wars Season 7. This is described to be a complete separate project that would bring a return of Anakin Skywalker in some way, shape, or form, of the iconic character in a unique way that will be unexpected to the fans. It's said that this project currently is in early development, will bring a special return of Anakin Skywalker. However, it's unclear if this means the return of actor Hayden Christensen or not, who portrayed Anakin in the prequels back in the 2000s. Now, this is going to be Disney's way to satisfy some of the hardcore fans by providing them special characters that will return in unexpected ways. This comes just after the release of The Rise of Skywalker, where currently Lucasfilm have over 10 years worth of live-action projects as well as animated projects in the works to be delivered and developed to either hit the big screen or people's homes on Disney Plus. Lucasfilm are said to be creating a brand new Star Wars universe that will be modeled after the MCU, where each and every project will be attached to each other, that will create a line of projects in the forms of movies, series, or animated shows that will interconnect, and that Anakin Skywalker will be a major part of at least one of those projects. It's unclear if this means Anakin will return as a Force ghost or alive and well in one of their projects. However, Disney and Lucasfilm are trying to make things better with Star Wars after the box office results from The Rise of Skywalker making less than The Last Jedi's opening weekend. Now, this January, Disney will also be announcing a brand new Star Wars film, and who will be directing it to excite fans about the future and where things are really going to go after Episode 9. Lucasfilm are currently in a phase to create a brand new format for Star Wars as a franchise, and exactly who the director will be or write the upcoming projects, and that from now on, they want to only focus on experienced creatives to handle Star Wars in general. Now, with Kathleen Kennedy and her contract said to be over in 2021, it's likely that she will retire at that point in time for somebody else to take over as head of Lucasfilm and to run everything from Star Wars, where something that Star Wars fans feel is very much needed at this point in time after the sequel trilogy. Lastly, it is noted that Lucasfilm also has plans to bring back many Star Wars Legends characters and to bring them into the Disney canon to attract the hardcore fans who love the content from the 90s and the early 2000s. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, what does this really mean about Anakin Skywalker? Does this mean that Anakin is appearing in live-action form as a Force ghost in a future project that could maybe take place either post-Return of the Jedi or maybe even The Mandalorian? For all we know, it could be something like that. Or it could be a completely different series or a completely different movie for all we know. Now, the thing about this, bringing a return of Anakin Skywalker. Like I say, this could also have something to do with a brand new animated TV series as well, and we're not talking about the Clone Wars Season 7. This is said to be a complete separate project. Now, the thing about Anakin Skywalker returning here, it really does show that Disney and Lucasfilm are desperate at this point. Now, of course, they're desperate because they want Star Wars to succeed. This is a big property, aside from Marvel. You know, they got Marvel, they got their Disney live-action movies, and most of all, they got Star Wars now. And they are taking over a lot of other companies. You know, now they own Fox, and so they own The Simpsons. I mean, Disney's really pretty much everywhere at this point. So, for them to handle Star Wars properly, I think that they're finally coming to the realization that they really do need to satisfy the hardcore Star Wars fans, like the fans who have been around since the original trilogy's release back in 1977 with Star Wars A New Hope. And the fact that they're making this shift now, it almost comes off like that they had their own idea with the sequel trilogy, and that now moving forward, they want to treat things more carefully after the release of Episode 9. Given that the box office didn't do quite as well as The Last Jedi's opening weekend, I totally understand that. But it also spells desperation by Disney, it does. The fact that a lot of their upcoming projects are going to be based on nostalgia, and how they're going to be based on, you know, some of the characters that we know and love, such as Obi-Wan Kenobi, and how they're in talks for a Mace Windu TV series, and even a TV series featuring Yoda and Luke Skywalker, all these different ideas. By the way, all these live-action TV series ideas that they have had before in the past actually came from the original movies that they planned to develop. 10 years worth of movies that were canceled because of Solo: A Star Wars Story's box office results. Which honestly doesn't make much sense to me, because they really could have made these in the forms of movies. Honestly, I think I would have preferred the Kenobi movie to be a thing, you know, instead of a TV series. Now sure, with a TV series, yes, you do get more character development. The thing with Disney Plus so far, though, is that it's not so different from a movie itself, if you think about it. The Mandalorian Season 1, 8 episodes. Each episode is only 20-some minutes, which I find to be very short. So that's basically the length of an actual feature-length film. And if we're going to be given the same amount of time for the Kenobi series, for example, and we're only getting 6 episodes, by the way, for the Kenobi series, if it's only 20 minutes per episode, that still is basically just a movie again. So they might as well have just released into theaters and earlier at that. Now, about Anakin Skywalker, alright? Now, him returning, like I say, this could mean multiple different things. This could have something to do with the future film, where Anakin's Force Ghost is going to appear to brand new characters and teach them the ways of the Force, or it could have something to do with Anakin Skywalker's dedicated animated TV series, for all we know. Yes, I know that the Clone Wars features Anakin, and that Anakin is a prominent figure, a prominent character in that series, but they could very well be developing a brand new animated series that's going to be primarily based on Anakin. That's another possibility. Another thing is that maybe it has something to do with a live-action TV series that's going to feature Hayden Christensen. Who knows, right? I mean, we do know that there were scenes filmed for Hayden for The Rise of Skywalker, and it seems like that they might want to make things up for the fans of the reshoots and the rewrites that took place for Episode 9, and hence why this movie feels so rushed and convoluted at times and a little too fast in the very beginning and middle point. So, the last thing I want to touch on here, real quick, is that the future of Star Wars is very expansive. It seems like that where the business is at for Disney right now is the live-action TV series on Disney Plus, where they can take their time and focus on the movies that they are currently developing. Again, the production of the new movie is going to begin next year in 2020, and as we go throughout 2020, things are going to start to ramp up for that particular film as it actually gets nearer to the filming phase. So, with that being said, Star Wars is going somewhere, and it seems like that they're trying to do things and handle things in a different way to attract a lot of hardcore fans in the process. So, with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No, I know. nights alone.